Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to the Prophecy of Pendor. Now, when we left off, we had just delivered a message and indeed spoken to Marius Imperator, and he has given us a quest to rid the surrounding territory of a snake cult shrine. And so, yes, as I was waiting here at Sarlian, because I thought to myself, I'd like to kill a couple more bandits before we head on to the snake cult, because you never know, we are going to have a really tough time with those snake cult units, so I felt like it would be a really nice idea if we could maybe level up a little bit more. And lo and behold, we have finished reading The Great Leaders of Pendor, which has improved our leadership skill by 1, which is fantastic. So let's see where we are actually going to be heading to next. So let's see now. Are we going to be heading on over here? I think we will. Let's just see. Okay, so we have some demon worshippers right there. Really not, really not something I want to be dealing with right now. I have a feeling that this might actually be the same party that dealt with us beforehand, but let's just hope that we are a little quicker this time around. Now, let's just see here. Do we have anything? We do have a couple of things to sell, so maybe it would be a good idea to do that. I would also like to recruit a couple more units just before heading into the snake cult, and it appears as though we are not being very lucky at all in finding some bandits here. I was hopeful that we would be able to find some just before the snake cult encounter, but it appears as though we are going to have to deal with it another time. So we're just going to have to head back to Emerin right here, and we're going to be attempting to get a reasonable amount of units. Now, as we can see here, you receive word from a traveler that heretics have managed to summon demonic warriors and have raised an army. Well, they are not going to be very pleased, are they? No, they're going to be quite grumpy, and we are going to need to deal with them when and if it comes to that time. So, yes, let's just get down to business, shall we? Let's just head on over here. If we come across any bandits or robbers or anything along those lines, then obviously I'm going to be dealing some damage to them. For example, that snake cult patrol over there. Oh. Yes. I have a feeling these guys are going to destroy us, so I'm not going to be doing battle with them right now. They are actually moving very fast indeed, so let's see if we can just get away from them as much as possible. We need to recruit more units and level them up even faster, so we are going to be getting a little bit of trainer skill, but not just yet. We are not yet over level 5, and it makes no difference until you're over the, well, maximum level of your troops, I suppose. So right now we have level 5. Are they level 5? I'm pretty sure the recruits are level 5. So let us just head in here. Yes, they are level 5. And as a result, we are really not going to be getting any benefit from trainer whatsoever. And so, otherwise, we're just going to be heading on to the snake cult shrine. It appears as though there are... Oh my, that is not good. They are moving at 5 point... Oh, whoa, okay. Okay, yes, go away, thank you very much. Please leave. Please leave me alone. Thank you very much. Okay, good. So, let's... Oh, that was close. That was very, very close. I really did not want to deal with those Noldor units. They would have destroyed us. So let's be a little careful here. And also, we need to wait until daytime to attack. So let's get our militia up here. I'm a little bit worried about this, I have to say, because many of our units are really not very high level at all, and we are having some difficulties even, well, leveling them up past militia before we are beset upon by huge amounts of units, and very powerful ones at that. So let's just hope that we'll be able to make good use of it. Now, it is daytime, so we don't have the element of surprise any further, which is a little unfortunate, but we are still going to be attacking the hideout, and we're going to see how well we do. I can only hope that we don't have any units such as snake priestesses or snake cult armsmen or anything along those lines. I hope that we just have regular units, maybe. Thankfully enough, we do have a lot of our own people with shields, so it shouldn't be too bad, I hope. Because right now, as you can see, many of the attacks that are currently sailing towards us are pretty pointless, to be honest, because these guys have all shields, and yes, as you see, we are actually fighting snake cult armsmen, so I guess we get an opportunity to see how good they are in combat. I'd like to be able to use my throwing weapons if possible. Yes, come on, throwing weapons. Yes, there's a little bit of damage. Not more than that, though, apparently. Yes, I need to go first person as well, don't I? Yes. That would make a huge difference, but right now we just need to be a little bit more effective, so we're going to be attempting to take them out with our sword. Ooh, we were shot in the back. We were shot in the back by that fellow over there. Need to be a little careful of that. Now, there is a guy here as well, who is going to be an absolute beast, apparently, because we swung at him, and as you could see, we actually took... Well, we took a lot of damage, obviously, but we dealt 0. Actually 0 damage, which is really quite strange, considering we hit him with our blade. I'm pretty sure we hit him with our blade, at least, so, well... Whatever can we do? Well, not much, can we? Yeah, no, we're just going to be heading on to Pendor. There's some hired assassins which are actually running from us right now. Shall we deal some damage to those guys? Maybe. Maybe. So, yeah, let's actually just head in there. We are only at 13%, which is a little unfortunate, but I think we will be able to stave off the attack of these guys. They do have mounts, so we are going to just wait at the spawn area here, wait for them to get over here, and we'll see what we can do. Now, we are going to go first person and see if we can use our thrown weapons a little bit. If these guys have shields, however, then it is going to be a little bit difficult, isn't it? So let's just order our units to get over there a little bit more as well. Now, also, we only have infantry, so we have no strategic options whatsoever. But hopefully as time goes on, we will be able to change that, and we'll maybe get some crossbowmen, but obviously the crossbowmen do not seem very good at range, so we're going to need to modify our playstyle just a little bit to get a little bit extra, I would say a little bit extra effectiveness when it comes to our range and where we decide to pitch our tents, I suppose you could say. And yes, that means obviously we need to be more careful with, well, wasting bolts as well, even though, well, technically crossbowmen never really run out of ammunition because they are firing so slowly. So, yeah, I suppose we'll just see where that goes right now. And I don't really want to confine myself to only using one kind of troop. So I suppose, in other words, one faction's troops. We definitely want to use Ravenstern, and we want to use probably some Sarleon maybe as well. Not too sure about that just yet, but I feel as though it might be one of our only options to be a little more effective in combat. But maybe we just want to be loyal. Maybe we just want to be loyal to our faction, which is maybe a good idea, to be honest. Take him out, thank you very much. These guys don't appear to actually be on horses, which is amazing. I actually thought they were, but nevertheless, we are just going to be blocking as many of their javelins as we can, and now I'm going to attempt to use some throwing weapons against this guy. If I... Whoa, there we go. We actually got a kill with one. Isn't that amazing? I was not anticipating that, that's for sure, but every little bit of experience helps. That's all I can say. So let us level... Well, not level, but let's loot. Yeah, yes. The L's. The L's are everywhere. Now, your relation with background enemies has deteriorated. Whoa, okay. So, in other words, we are going to have a bad time with many of the minor factions. They are not major enough to have their own name, so they are just called background enemies. But yes, hopefully we will not be, well, beset upon by them too much, but it didn't seem like they were too powerful anyway, so it should be fine. Now, here we go. Now, the Dashar and the Empire have made peace, which is fantastic. So now we no longer have to worry, really, well, we're not even a vassal of the Empire yet, but we no longer really have to worry about anything to do with those guys. So let's see what we can do at Says here. I'd like to get another Guildmaster quest. If it is a good one, then we can be well rewarded, but if it's one that is going to be a very, well, far travel time and generally things like that, then obviously we are going to have... Oh, yeah, it's going to have issues, as you can see here. That is not going to happen anytime soon. Noldor? No. Anything with the Noldor is never going to happen, really. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get some goods sold, and then we'll head onward. We're going to see if we can take out a couple of Snake Cult patrols, perhaps. But as you can see, our trade skill is coming mighty handy here. And there we go, we just gained another 600 dinars, which is fantastic. Obviously, after our defeat in the previous episode, it's pretty good to gain a little bit more money. We do need to be able to sustain ourselves after all. And this guy is a... oh, he's a poet. So I suppose what we could do is learn a poem, just in case we decide that we want to court one of the ladies of the realm. You never know. We might decide to do something like that. And there we go. So we've learnt that poem, which is wonderful. Then maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to, yes, try and woo someone. And, oh, hello there. What news can you share of your travels? My informant, a traveling merchant, told me a piece of gossip about recent events that seems out of the ordinary. A few days ago, he was looking for his caravan guards. He said he heard the Vanskry raiders worshipped an enigmatic deity. Those heathen savages hail something called a Saxon dragon. Well, if any of you have been to the ModDB page for, well, to download Prophesy of Pendor, then you know the reference. Oh, yes. Okay, well, that is very amusing. And I think we might actually be deciding to gain a couple of these. They are very cheap, and they seem to be pretty reasonable. Let's just see here. They are level 10, so why not? They are level 10. That's actually going to help us quite a bit, I feel, because our militia, I don't... wow, they're level 10 as well. Okay, I actually thought they were a little bit lower than that, because it seemed as though they didn't seem to be, well, mighty effective, I suppose. They were reasonable, but nothing to really write home about there. Okay, so, well, the first thing we want to do is try and track down a party of someone. Obviously not heretics, if at all possible, because these guys... yes, give me bad nightmares. Oh my. Okay, so here we go. A farmer hails you and tells you the news that the Mist Mountain tribes have united under Wolfbode the Slayer. Well, he is obviously going to cause us a great deal of difficulty later on, but thankfully for now, I don't think he's going to be venturing very deep into Empire territory, so we should be relatively safe, but you never know. Yeah, those guys are... yeah, they mean business. They definitely do mean business. And here we go. A fight in the nighttime. So let's get ready for that. They are going to have some mounted units. So let's get prepared for that. I am actually going to be getting off my horse as well. I feel as though it's a little easier for me, at least, to shoot with our throwing weapons off a horse. And also to be a little more accurate, even though to be a little more accurate requires basically all the effort in the world. But let's just see where we can deal some damage here. Maybe we'll be lucky. Okay, well, that was complete skill. No luck involved in that, obviously. Let's just see if we can take this guy out as well, if we're at all lucky. Or completely skilled. Yes. Yeah, that's total skill right there, obviously. Yes, and if you can't tell, sarcasm, of course. But we are going to be attacking this guy, seeing if we can get a little bit of experience as well, seeing if we can just take him out as much as possible. Oh, his horse has now died, so we definitely want to get some damage on this guy. Come on. Yes, no. And there we have it. Excellent. We actually took out the rogue Blackheart Squire, and as a result, we have advanced to level 4. Now, we do have some Maiden Warders who appear to... I had my shield up. Yes, I had my shield up. Apparently, we lost power, and they destroyed us with their photon torpedoes, but yes, nevertheless, there we have it. We have leveled up to 4, as I was saying, and our Maiden Warders do have crossbows, which actually does seem to be quite a good thing to have, as they are able to strike from long distance, which is exactly what we want to see. So there we go. Let's loot a couple more things there, and our relation with the Forest Bandits has now decreased slightly, but not too bad. And now we'll get a couple more unit level ups here, and we have of course leveled up with Bertil the Lesser, who will soon, hopefully, be Bertil the Greater. You never know. Maybe he will. So let's get another point in strength. And, oh yes, what was it that I wanted to go for? I wanted to go for another point in horse archery, but is it really worth it? I think it might be worth it, actually, because if you take horse archery and then use throwing weapons, let's say we have, I don't know, 18 throwing weapons or something along those lines, surely having a high horse archery would really help us out there. Well, whatever the case, we are almost level 5, so it's really not necessary just yet to do trainer, but we could go for another prisoner management. We're not really taking too many prisoners either, so I think we probably want to go for some more power strike skill, because right now we seem to be doing literally 0 damage to the heavier armored units, and I think it would be a nice idea if we could, well, hopefully do a little bit better surrounding that. And so, okay, let us head on to Janos, as we are going to lose 93 dinars thanks to our wages, but also we are going to be resting up a little. Whoa, careful. Snake Cult Killers, Serpent Priestess, Anaconda Knights, Cobra Warriors, and then Armsmen and Followers. Yes, probably not something we want to deal with right now. Yes, certainly not, because those guys, especially the Anaconda Knights and the Serpent Priestesses, they are very high tier, so we want to be very, very careful of those. Oh my, they are really throwing the Snake Cult at us right now, so let's have a look here. Oh no! It appears as though Noldor tasks are the name of the game right now. Well, whatever the case, we are going to be waiting here for some time, and hopefully, when we return, I will have good news in the form of a decently sized bandit party. Okay, so we are still at Janos. As you can plainly tell, we are in the tavern at Janos, and we have a couple of companions here that we could potentially speak to, but right now I am interested in only one fellow, and it's this guy right here, some mercenary Highlanders. I feel as though hiring a couple of these would be fantastic, so we're going to be spending a lot of money on them, as we have just had our weekly wages taken. I obviously waited here for a couple of days just to rejuvenate ourselves, but hopefully we'll have about 4 in-game days until our next weekly wages, and we should be able to then have more than 234, but these mercenary Highlanders are fantastic. They are very, very good, as you can see here. Level 20, excellent weapon proficiencies, amazing weapon master, and various other skills, and they should be able to carry us through quite nicely in terms of taking on one of those Snake Cult parties. So I'm thinking we'll either take on those or maybe some deserters, not entirely sure, but I'd love to be able to take on a larger party, because right now that is going to give us the greatest reward. And as you can see, a coven of assassins calling themselves Skyblades have been rooted out of Ishkomen and are roaming the desert. Well, that's obviously another minor faction hero that we need to be a little bit careful of, or hero party, shall we say. Oh, I would love to be able to take on some of those Noldor for those tasks. I'm sure the rewards are fantastic, but, well, right now we can't. Yes, it's very unfortunate, isn't it? Well, whatever the case, let us attempt to find some Snake Cult units, or some Red Brotherhood slavers, which we will indeed be chasing. So, let's see if we can... Yeah, it's gonna be impossible to catch them, I feel. Yes. Target lost. Of course it is. Of course. Oh! No, we might be lucky. We might be very, very lucky. Or maybe not, because apparently we are now helping Lord Deodatus. That is unfortunate. That is very unfortunate, isn't it? Okay, well, move into... yeah, move into help. 99 against 40. Against 4, even, not 40. Ah, if it was 40, then I would be quite happy, but... 4? Really? Yes. Okay, well, whatever the case, I suppose we can just charge everyone in. Everyone else is just charging in, and they have Empire Gladiators. These guys are going to pack a punch. Once we get some of those, we really don't have to worry about anything, apart from, obviously, Noldor, because, well, everyone has to worry about Noldor, but what we currently have is, well, a very small band of units that we otherwise cannot use too effectively, so let's see what we can do with these guys. I'd like to be able to deal some damage enough that we'd be able to maybe, just maybe, take them out. Now that guy, I believe, has one of the better prisoner-taking weapons, so I would really like to be able to... Yes, I would really like to be able to loot that. Yes, exactly, exactly. But... let us see whether they're even able to... Oh, whoa, that was amazing. The Empire Gladiator shot him right in the head. Do you see that? That is fantastic. Whoa. Okay, well, we're going to need to see a couple more shots like that in the future. I would love to be able to see that. Maybe we should have a specialist army. Maybe we should go for something like 100% Empire Gladiators. Yeah, that would be completely sound, wouldn't it? Yep, not at all. No, it would not be very good, but it would be rather fearsome. It would be quite fearsome, but really not very good after all. So, yes, not good against ranged units anyway. So, let's just see here. Are we going to be finding any snake cult units? That is the question. Okay, so far, haven't really had much luck. The only luck that I have had was that I found, well, let's just say 2 more parties of units that I was able to take out very, very quickly indeed, because there was an Empire vassal very close by. But, as you can see here, we have actually advanced, yes, that's also another thing. We have, yes, we have advanced one of our militia units, and a couple of our recruits as well, but no money. Absolutely no money at all, because they've just taken our weekly wages, and as you can see, we also have some snake worshippers right in front of us, which would be fantastic if we could win against them, and I'm actually going to try. I'm actually going to try against these guys.
Speak to me. You are less than about to be squashed.
Yes, as you can see there, a little bit of a voice over there from our snake enemies, and yes, 18 of them. This is going to be very difficult in actual fact. It's going to be very, very difficult. Even though we have 49, that doesn't really matter because they have serpent priestesses and, well, anaconda knights and everything like that. So, need to be a little careful. And I mean a little careful. We only have infantry, do bear that in mind. But we do have a couple of units with some ranged weaponry, so let us hope that we'll be able to succeed where many others have failed, no doubt. Okay, so this mercenary Highlander is very confident, as you can see. He has no shield whatsoever, but he is deciding that it would be a good idea to stand at the front of the army. Probably not the best idea, I've got to say. But we are going to be attempting to make our way over here. Thankfully enough, many of our units still have shields up. So, in actual fact, we should, in theory, be able to win this, because these guys, these AI units, have most likely just stayed there because they don't have confidence in their abilities to win this fight. Hopefully that is the case. If it is not the case, and in actual fact they are just showing mercy, then I am, well, slightly sad, but let's just see whether that is indeed the case. I think it is going to be worth it if we can win this, but if we lose, then obviously that is just terrible, but we're gonna see. Oh, we've already taken the snake priestess. Oh, wow, we've already taken the serpent priestess off her mount. My horse is now dead, but at least I am going to be dealing some damage to this fellow. If I can. Yes, it appears as though I was lucky enough to be able to. I cannot ride the Netherworld Charger, of course I can't, but we are going to be attempting to take this guy out as... Really? How was he able to do that? Wow, that's impressive. Well, whatever the case, our units are still alive, and there is only one Anaconda Knight remaining, but they do have an overwhelming amount of Snake Cult Armsmen. I would really like to be able to, well, win this. So let's just see. Our mercenary Highlanders are still alive, and I have a feeling that if they were to kill the Anaconda Knight, then we would be able to win this very, very easily. As you can see, our mercenary Highlanders are just cutting through the opponent. And the only thing that we have to worry about is that Anaconda Knight. As you see, he is constantly, absolutely eviscerating any units that he comes across, and I can only hope that our mercenary Highlanders, who are so far doing an excellent job, I can only hope that they are going to stay alive long enough for us to see some win here. Now, as you can see, they are chasing the wrong unit. They really need to kill this guy. Come on, kill him. Yes, come on. Yes, there we go. Thank you very much, militia. You're doing a good job. Now see if you can actually kill that guy. Maybe we'll be able to... Oh, huge sword there. Huge sword for our mercenary Highlander. And as you can see, they have taken out the last Snake Cult Armsman. This is going to be a very close run battle, and we only have one remaining. So let's see. Let us see what they're able to do. This guy still has throwing weapons, so technically he is still able to deal damage without our units being in range. Ouch! That was a bad hit right there. Bad hit for that mercenary Highlander to take. Oh, yes. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's see if anything is going to transpire here. There are still 3 units available. Almost 2. Now there is 2. This Anaconda Knight is showing us how it's done, that is for sure. He's using throwing weapons on a horse as well, so Yes, he's doing it a lot better, though, I would say. Oh, there's some nice damage. Oh, yes, excellent damage right there from our Mercenary Highlander. Our last one. Do bear that in mind. Only one more remaining. Please get out your shield. Please get out your shield, Mercenary Highlander. Oh, did you see that? Oh, yes. This fellow right here is the hero of this particular battle, as well as this fellow. I'm amazed that he actually survived. But there it is. 27 of our units were killed. Most of them were Empire units. Nothing too bad. 3 of them were Mercenary Highlanders, but I feel as though it was worth it, because we now get to take the best loot ever, which is actually not the best loot ever, and I'm exaggerating quite a lot there. But it has proven that we are able to take out a snake cult army slightly. And we do have now over our weekly cost, which is fantastic. So we do need to go and pay some debts. Our horse is no longer alive, so that is why we're just running on our little feet right there. And let's just go and see whether we're able to head into Janos and pay off that debt. Well, wait a minute, do I actually need to even pay off that debt? No, I don't even need to pay off that debt. It's automatic after all. So what I can do is very easily head in here, and we can start to sell many of these things. I'm going to keep this lance, because no doubt that lance is going to come in mighty handy, I feel. And we're going to sell everything else that we can. There we go, thank you. And yes, that is still fine. We still need to get level 12, so we're going to try and do that. But as you can see, look at that. 7 of them now want to level up into militia. 3 of them now want to level up into infantry. Excellent. That is exactly what we need to do. We need to just get huge experience boosts. And as a result of our victory over the snake cults, at least this time, I am going to be ending this episode off here. And so I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.